First question will come from Shane Young.
Hey Ty, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. Thanks for asking. Just wondering the status on Kawhi and Marcus tonight.
Kawhi's in. Marcus is out.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move over to Justin Russo.
Hey, Coach, good to see you. Tuesday night, you guys ran zone about 20 times, which accounted for nearly 20% of your season total so far. How do you feel that the zone defense has progressed for the team so far this season?
It's gotten better. I think it's something we got to continue to keep working on and, do it in the game so we can see what we needed to correct. And I thought the zone the other night was good for us. We knew coming to the game that Boston struggled with zone, and DC did a good job of sprinkling it in and giving them different looks. And so it's something that we're going to need, going forward. So we got to play it just so we can see what we needed to improve on.
Is the zone something you guys want to implement more and more as the season goes along and then use a healthy amount of in the postseason?
Yes, I think it's something we definitely want to do and try to break up teams' offensive rhythms and just showing them a different look.
Thanks.
Okay, let's move over to Sabrina.
Hey, Ty, this is a little off topic, but it's been about a year since you guys have had to wear suits for games. And I'm curious if you miss it at all.
I go back and forth. I do like it at times, but when you're packing for long trips like we've been on, a couple of times, it does cut down on your packing. Having to pack all the shoes and the ties and the different suits, and so I think this way is more comfortable. I think it's a lot better and it's easier on your travel as well. So right now, I like this. I like this style a little better.
Does the NBA require that you guys match if you're not wearing suits? Or you just come to that decision by yourself?
I think we just come to that decision by ourselves. I'm not sure that we have to match on the bench, but I mean, I like it because, we all look the same and it's color coordinated.
Thanks, Ty.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's move over to Miriam.
Hey there, Ty.
How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing, man?
Good.
Comfortable in the not suit?
Huh?
You're comfortable anyway without the suits anyway.
Oh yeah, feels good.
Yeah, right on. Hey, so I have a Luke Kennard question for you. Obviously, he's sort of been on the outside looking in of late, and obviously he's a pro. But is there anything that you want to see from him going into the second half that might help him kind of get back in the mix?
You know what, Miriam? He's been doing all the right things. He's been in the 5-on-5 games with Fee and Terrence and our player development guys, and just trying to stay in shape and continue to keep working. Like Reggie and Pat did. And like I said, right now it's a long season, and you know how the season is, and anything can happen. So he has to stay ready. My communication with him has to stay up, like it's been, and it's really nothing he's done. I just thought, Terrence has played well. Reggie has played well. So he just had to stay ready. And that's the biggest thing.
Is there anything you can look at like a guy like Reggie to I don't know, for I don't know, guidance or sort of like a roadmap for how to do that?
I think so. They play together in Detroit, and Reggie's, been talking to him, and all the guys have been talking to him, the coaching staff, and just tell him to stay ready. It's nothing he's done. I just think, like I said, Terrence is playing at a high level, and Reggie's been playing well as well.
Let's move over to Law.
Good afternoon, Ty. You got after last game, you talked about having trust in playing the same style for a full game instead of just 42 minutes, 43 minutes. And, you've had games, I remember last Friday, where guys will come out with a different kind of energy, and that'll be something that's easy to come out and playing with that kind of energy or playing with a certain mentality or urgency. How do you, when a game gets tight, when a game gets close in the end, reinforce that message in the fourth quarters of games, especially starting with your stars?
Just keep talking about it, keep showing film, keep showing them, what we want, what we expect, and also what they like as well. And, just talking with PG and Kawhi yesterday, they came in my room for like an hour and a half and just going over different scenarios and situations, what they like, what they didn't like, good shot, bad shot, and just where they want the ball on the floor and the spacing. So, like I said, we're working. It's not going to be perfect every time, and it's just things we can continue to keep building off of so we can get the experience. And not having a lot of clutch minutes this year, and seeing this and seeing what's happened, we're able to work on it. We're able to get guys in spots. We're able to see what Kawhi and PG likes, and then go from there.
Let's move over to Andrew.
Hey, Ty, I feel like the last couple of days there was talk about kind of what has yet to be put in for you guys, a little more offense to be put in. Obviously, you haven't shown everything defensively, but I'm just curious, like, to look at the other way, like, where do you feel like you guys are now halfway through, pretty far along, maybe even farther along than you maybe expected in preseason? Like, are there some areas where you feel like this team is kind of pretty mature of what it's showing on the court?
Yeah, I just think, the parts of just with Kawhi and PG of just, letting them make the plays, putting the ball in their hands and, making the right play, getting into the paint, either scoring a basketball or kicking it out for threes, or just being able to read the defense and what the defense is trying to do. And I think that's very important, going into the playoffs. So they've done a good job of that. We still got to get better, with our small pick and rolls, when teams are showing or when they're switching, to be able to take advantage of that is one key area we got to get better at. And then we also got to be able to, figure out how we're going to generate easy baskets, especially when we're stopping teams. And, you can't, come out of a game with, 2 games back to back with 2 transition points. So, when teams are missing, we got to be able to capitalize and take advantage of transition basketball.
We'll move over to Chris Miller.
Thank you. Hey, Ty, besides the obvious of Brad leading the league in scoring, where have you seen his biggest growth potential from last year to this?
I think, the game's slowing down for him, just being able to understand, when to shoot, when to pass, what teams are doing. Because, when you lead the league in scoring, I'm pretty sure he's seen every defense they can possibly see. And he's making all the right passes and all the right plays. And, when you become a great scorer like he's become, you can read the defense, you can see what teams are trying to do, and you can make every play out of it. And that's what he's really shown me, is being able to make those passes and plays and not get frustrated with the double teams.
Time for a few more. We'll move over to Joseph.
Hey, Ty. As we hit the break, what are some of the ways that the team can alleviate the fatigue issues that the condensed schedule might bring in the second half of the season?
Oh, no, it's a fine line. I think, having these 5 or 6 days off, you still got to put in some work, because when you come back, it's one practicing game. So you got to be smart, taking care of your body, but also be able to do something over the break. So when you come back, you're not threatening to get injured. So it's a fine line, but we got to put some work in over the break. So when you come back, you're in decent enough shape to play your minutes and the minutes you've been playing all season.
All right, we'll go to Matthew and close out with Cam.
Hi, Ty.
Hello.
Just curious. Next week is the anniversary of kind of the Rudy Gobert game when the NBA shut down temporarily. Just, I guess, one, does it feel like a year has passed already, given all that's gone on? And what is your biggest takeaway of playing amid a pandemic and everything that's kind of happened since that moment?
Being at home every day and not being able to leave the house, it seems like it was longer, a long time ago, longer than a year. But just being able to play the game we love in the pandemic, it just shows the great job the NBA has done. And for us to be able to, entertain the outside world and give them something to do and something to look at while staying safe and being safe, but also promoting for, everybody to be safe by wearing their mask and washing their hands and doing all the right things. And so the NBA has done a great job, and just, continue to keep following protocol and doing the best we can.
Okay, Cam, we'll close out with you.
Hey, Coach.
What's
Good
up?
afternoon. Hey, although this year's All-Star festivities are a little different, obviously, because of the pandemic, how do you typically spend the All-Star weekend? And will you take some time to kind of get away? And how do you get away?
I'm gonna take some time to get away. I'm gonna go home, relax, 4 or 5 days, and just, of course, you're gonna still watch film and do other things you need to do to try to improve the team. But just getting away, be able to go to my house, sleep in my other bed, and just try to take some time away from the game. And look at what we need to get better at, what we need to improve on, what's been good for us so far, and kind of go from there, Cam.
All right, thanks, Todd. That's all I have for you.
All right, thank you.
All right. All right, everyone. See you post game.